What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The People. Mike Hearn, Crazy Realtor here. Back with another video. This week's person, Mr. Tanner Stiles, who I played golf with in college and now in between his studies works with the Thunder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
Dude, how is that experience working for the Thunder? Like, so your brother worked for them first, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of you got, like, after Trey left, you kind of got the job.
Right.
What's it like walking onto that court for the first time?
It's pretty crazy. So my brother obviously did it his 4 years. There's a couple different roles. There's what they call a ball boy and then team attendant, which is a little bit higher up, but really technically we're all seen as ball boys. Mm-hmm. So he did the team attendant stuff for his 4 years, and after he got done, he basically just told our boss, he said, hey, I got a little brother coming into college next year. He'd really be interested in doing it. So they gave me a call, and so I just remember the first time I stepped foot, like, actually on the court. It was a preseason game, and I just remember stepping out. I think Russell was already out there. Russell Westbrook was already out there shooting.
Yeah.
And I remember stepping on the court and just looking around going, this is not real right now. You know, because I'd been to a bunch of Thunder games before, but sitting up in, you know, the second or third level up in Loud City or whatever, and I just never dreamed I'd ever get a chance to actually walk on the court. And so I just remember it was just kind of surreal actually being down there.
Yeah. And then, like, I mean, because he's, like, obviously on TV, they don't look that big, right? And then when you see them, when you get down close, you're like, he's like the smallest person on the court, and he's like 6', whatever he is. Like, he's huge. What's been, like, the coolest thing? You've been doing it for what, 6 years now?
This is my sixth year. Yeah. What
has been, like, the coolest thing to do? Like, because I know you guys rebound at the start of practice, stuff like that. Like, what was your favorite part about it?
So my first 3 years I was a ball boy, and so the only difference really between that and a team attendant role is after the game is over, the ball boys, they get to leave right away. Okay. You know, they don't have any duties really after the game, but team attendant stuff, there's just a little bit more responsibility. They actually get to go in the locker rooms and stuff like that. The ball boys don't really get to go in the locker rooms, so we take care of the locker rooms, like, you know, before the games and after the games. So that would be probably the biggest difference between those two. But to answer your question just about just some of the coolest things, I'd probably say with the team attendant role, really it just feels like you get that all access. You know, you can go anywhere you want in there, and I mean, essentially, if you wanted to just go up to Russ or PG or something and just say what's up, you have that access to do that, you know, or whatever. So
yeah, because I guess you get to see them, like, from behind closed doors on, like, a personal kind of level, and like, you know, everyone, like, sees them playing and sees them in their sport or in the media, but you get to actually know them of who they are, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, during the game, like, it's quite funny because, like, I will see you, like, either on TV, like, you're either sat behind the goal, behind the basket, or, like, you're out there, like, or you were out there scrubbing the floor, right? When they fall over. Right. What was the first time like when you actually did that? Like, what's it like sitting there thinking, I've got to go out on this court in front of all these people and, like, wipe the floor as fast as I can?
It's actually really nerve-wracking. So, you know, they really don't give you a whole lot of training either, which is actually crazy. Like, you show up your first game and they tell you what you're supposed to be doing, but then it's like you actually have to do it to get, like, a feel of what you're doing, you know, or whatever. I just remember the first time I went out there, and I don't even think I got all the sweat off. Because I went out there and just did it for like 2 seconds, then ran back. And I don't think I got it all because I was, you know, scared or whatever. But it's just the first time I really sat down and thought about it. You know, you got 18,000 eyes that are on the court, and so it's like the first couple of games it does take getting used to. But now, you know, being there for, you know, 5 or 6 years, it's like I don't even really think about it at all. Yeah, but definitely for sure. When it first started, it was definitely nerve-wracking, but over time it just becomes.
What's it been like playoffs and stuff like that, like being on the court during, like, a huge playoff game? What has been, like, one of the biggest games you've been at?
It's been crazy. I think the biggest game that I worked was in, I think it was 2013, the year after they lost to the Heat in the finals. They lost in the Game 6 against the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. That game was pretty loud. So my brother actually got to work the finals when he was there, and he said it was anything unlike anything he's ever heard. So I would say either that Game 6, when they actually lost that game, but that was one of the loudest games. And I'd probably say another one of the loudest games was when Kevin Durant came back to Oklahoma City for the first time after leaving for Golden State. Just the first 5 minutes of that game, the game actually ended up being a blowout, like the Warriors blew them out, but the first 5-6 minutes of that game, I mean, it was literally deafening in there. I mean, like, I was looking around going, what is going on right now? Like, So definitely there were some games that I can recall that were pretty crazy atmosphere, and it just seems like everything is just 10 times louder when you're actually down there on the court than being in the crowd. Because I've been to some games too in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's been loud.
What's it like? I mean, you get taken care of very well. Like, I mean, we just spoke about earlier. Like, you got, Russ gave everybody his new shoe, right? So you got his new, why not 2.0s? I guess is that what
Yeah,
they're called?
it's 0.2s.
Okay,
I think that's
yeah.
just his second one.
Like, it's, I mean, you get taken care of. You get cool stuff like that, and then obviously, like, do you get to engage much with like the visiting teams?
Here and there, yeah. I mean, there's one team that, like the Knicks, they usually when they come, they leave everything behind after the game. Like
Really?
they're getting their socks that they wear, like all their warm up tops and their pants and stuff like that. They just leave it all behind, and that's all. Their equipment managers just pass it on to us and say, "You guys feel free to take this.
That's
however
so
you
cool.
want." So obviously, Russ, that's the big thing of him hooking up with shoes. But
Yeah.
really, other than that, it's just basic gear like this. This is the polo from last year that we got, and it's just basically just polos and gear and stuff.
What's
like that.
been like one of the coolest like experiences or like encounters you've had with, I don't know, like a player or just from being there?
I'd probably say the coolest encounter was with Dwight Howard. That was my second year working there as a ball boy. And he's one of the goofiest guys, in the NBA. And so he was out shooting before the game, and he was shooting 3-pointers, in which everybody, if you follow basketball, he doesn't shoot threes or whatever. And so he was wanting to take bets, from some of the ball boys, stuff like that. And so he's like, "Hey, I want to take a bet. If I can make 3-pointers in the corner, then one of y'all has to do 50 push-ups or something like that." And so, and then he said, "If I don't, I owe you $100." So this guy standing next to me goes, "Sure, I'll take that." Because we were college kids, $100. You know? So he gets up there and just makes 3 in a row, bang, bang, bang. And so the kid's eyes so he has to drop. He does 50 push-ups right at the feet of Dwight Howard. And so he's laughing and all this stuff. And so he says, "All right," he said, "I'll do one more." He said, I'll up it this time." He said, who wants to take me up on one? I was just happened to stand there. I just said, "Sure, I'll do it." So he goes, "All right, for you, I'm going to double it." He said, "If I make 3 in a row, you have 100 push-ups. And if I don't, I owe you $200. So he gets up there and makes the first 2, and I'm sitting there just sweating. I'm like, no way. I got to do 100 push-ups. So he gets up there and he rims the third one in and out, like he misses it really close. And so he starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, man." He's like, "All right, come by, see me after the game," or whatever. So I remember that game. That was when he was with Houston. And so the Thunder blew them out. He played terrible, fouled out of the game and all that stuff. And so after the game, I thought, there's no way he's going to actually do this. But I was like, I'll hang around and just see what happens. So after the game, I remember hanging around, and eventually he came walking out, and he kind of looked at me, and then he kind of did a double take, and I think it kind of clicked. And he remembered me, and he walked over and said, "I owe you something, don't I?" or whatever. And I just kind of was just like, was sitting there. And so pulled out his wallet and just pulled out 2 of the crispest $100 bills you've ever seen in your life, just like fresh off the thing. And he's like, just gave them to me and said, "A bet's a bet, man. I lost, whatever." And so I just remember standing there after he gave it to me, and he walked away, and I was just looking at it like, did that really just happen?
Right.
Or whatever. So that's probably the coolest thing I think that's ever happened.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. And like, I mean, do you ever? I know obviously you see like players giving away kit to fans and stuff, and you said the Knicks leave all this stuff. What's been one of like the coolest things that like somebody has like given to you, or I mean, do you get stuff signed? I guess you don't really want to bother them too much, right? Because you're kind of in their house and you don't want to ask too much to sign things because they probably won't like that. But has there been any like opportunities or occasions where you got like a really cool item that you still have?
So back when my brother did it, he and the guys, they could get signed stuff, from the players and stuff like that. And they actually, I think they got in trouble because they were taking that stuff and some of the stuff that they didn't want to keep for themselves. They were turning around and selling it on eBay. And somebody from, one of our bosses or something found out about it. And so they said we weren't allowed to really ask for anything, So in my years, I've never really asked for anything. But the one thing was, Dwayne Wade's always been like my favorite player. And so last year, I had a pair of his, he's got his own signature shoe. And so I had that. And so I thought, because I thought last year was going to be my last year. And so I thought, well, let me, since it's my last year, I'm just going to try to see if I can, And so one of the other guys who's kind of above me, who works specifically in the visiting locker room, I went to him and I said, "Hey, I got a pair of shoes. Is there any way, we could try to see about getting these signed or whatever?" And so he went back there and after the game and got Dwayne to sign them. And then after, when Dwayne was walking out, I happened to be standing there, and like I said, we really aren't supposed to be, asking him a whole lot. And so he's the first guy I ever asked to see if I could just get a picture with him. And so took a picture with him, and after he signed the shoes, and so I went back home and I got this glass case to put the shoes in.
That's sick.
Printed the picture off with him, so that's probably the coolest thing that I've gotten.
That's so awesome. So is this going to be your last year?
Probably, with this being my last year of grad school and still working just kind of part time right now here at SNU. With me getting a full time job next year, it would be hard for me to continue to do it. With the hours, I'm probably having to work till 5. We're supposed to be there 3 hours before every game, so it would just be hard for me to be there. Most games 3 hours before. So I feel like I've gotten pretty much everything I can out of this. The past 6 years, and it definitely the memories and the experiences I've gotten in this in the last 6 years is something that I can use for. I can take with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you're gonna have like little stories, or like you're gonna be at a game and you know exactly what's going on. Like it is a really cool opportunity, isn't it, to have, and it's not one that many people get to have. I'm sure a lot of people apply for these jobs, so it's been awesome. Really good to hear the stories. Like it's really cool. And I'm not a big basketball fan, and I like geeking out about listening to what you say. So. Guys, thanks for checking in. Tanner's got a great story, and if you see him on TV or if you're at a game and you see him under the basket, just shout at him. So, see ya.